Hey guys, this is Sandeep from RevAtlas and this is the review of the Lenovo Slim 7i laptop. Now before we get the started, please do make sure to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications to avoid missing any videos from us in the future. Now let's begin the video. Build quality on this thing is absolutely brilliant. It's built like a tank and it has certain heftiness to it, and the metal seems to be dense and strong, and you know it is built to last. The display is a 14-inch 1080p IPS panel which is sharp and has good colors, but the brightness maxes out at 300 nits, which makes it less than ideal for outdoor use cases, but is fine when using indoors. The bezels aren't that small, but at least they are symmetrical, where the side bezels are of the same height and top and bottom are of the same height too, thus avoiding triggering OCD. I personally prefer this to Asus's approach, where they have a huge chin below the display just to create the illusion of smaller bezels, and at this price point it's tough to expect slimmer bezels. The keyboard is well laid out and reminds you of the good keyboards on ThinkPad laptops, and is well spaced, has good travel, and the key size and shape are also ideal for typing. One of the best we've seen in this segment. Backlighting is in white and is adjustable in 2 levels, as even and is fairly bright as well. The touchpad is also pretty good and found it to be usable for daily tasks as well as for editing even, and while I would still choose a mouse over it, it can still be used and you won't break your head for forgetting a mouse. Speaking of which, this is a desk mat from Daily Objects and it looks pretty dope in my opinion. It is available in various different vegan leather options and colors, and if you want to check it out, we'll include a purchase link in description and comment section as well. The Windows Hello security feature works over webcam and it works well and is able to scan your face and grant access pretty fast and even from a certain distance. I find it more useful than fingerprint scanners, especially since the fingerprint scanners that I've used in most laptops aren't very good or accurate. The webcam itself is a 720p webcam with decent quality, but again is nothing to brag about. The SSD is an NVMe drive that is rated for a max read speed of 2200 megabytes per second and max write speed of 1200 megabytes per second. In both cases, it performed well and scored higher than the quoted rating by the brand and is overall pretty good, especially for this price segment. The RAM is 8GB and is soldered, and while for most tasks the 8GB was sufficient, for creators, for gamers, they'll find it to be on the lower side, especially if they tend to multitask or use heavier games, and this can be a bottleneck. I do not see the option to change it to 16GB from the factory either, which would have solved the case, and even the higher end i7 model has just 8GB of RAM. In terms of processing power, the Intel 10th generation Ice Lake i5 chipset performed decently well, and in fact it had to do a lot of the heavy lifting at times when video editing due to certain GPU driver related issues, which meant that Premiere Pro was not often able to use the MX350 2GB GPU for rendering and exporting. We are reviewing this at the fag end of the product cycle, but we hope that GPU issues are addressed, and we are sure that the 11th gen Intel CPU will be much better for heavier tasks as well. Here are some of the benchmark scores that we got from tests. In terms of battery life, this comes with a 60 watt-hour battery that is rated for up to 14 hours of battery life in a single charge, but in our experience we got around 7 to 8 hours with regular usage and with around 4 to 5 hours with editing and heavier multitasking. Overall, the Lenovo Slim 7i is a decent laptop, but it didn't manage to impress us as much as the Legion 7i that we tested earlier due to performance limitations, especially owing to GPU issues and RAM being limited. If you're looking for a productivity machine for browsing, viewing content or word processing, then this is a good buy, but for creators this isn't ideal. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you again in the next one.